All right, everybody, how you doing? My name's Vince. Backyard Mangoes here, and this is a mango in my backyard. This mango is called Graham. It's from Trinidad. It's an awesome mango. I like this one a lot. The last 2 years, though, it hasn't produced. The last time it produced really heavy, so maybe I'm thinking 2023. It kind of rested a little, just wasn't a big production. I know Truly Tropical. She said her Graham didn't produce well in 2023. So I was hoping 2024 would produce, and it did produce, I don't know, about 5 to 10 mangoes. A few customers got them. But today I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a haircut. You can see this is a super dense tree. The canopy on this thing, you can't see through it. It is just dense. So we're going to thin it out. We're going to bring in the sides a little bit. We're going to take a little bit out the top. And let me see if I can get a picture of this. We're going to also maybe try to take out something in the center. So when we come in here, I got my grafted little seedlings here I'm going to have to move. And the spider web here's the camera. Yeah, you can kind of pick it up on camera. There it is. Walk through the spider webs. Now I'm deep in the canopy. And I am going to take out a couple of these top branches here. I'm going to open this up, let a little more light come in here, a little more airflow. Usually in years past when this thing is producing pretty well, I've always found about 3 or 4 mangoes, but this year I doubt I'm going to find even a one in here. They're just not, it did not produce this year very well. But let's get at it. All right. All right, let's talk tools here. And so the tools here to trim this is a young laborer, about 13 years old, who's going to get a ladder. So a ladder's going to help me reach a few things. The other one here is I have a lopper. This is up to about 1 inch, I believe. It's a nice light one. It's good for those. I use a little bit of just a small handheld one. This is pretty good. And then I have this foldable saw, and I like this saw. It's nice. It's quick, makes some easy cuts. So we're going to go ahead and start cutting on this right there. Oh, and there's a wasp there. Yeah, right there. And man, there's a lot of new growth on this tree. I did harvest a couple scions before I cut it. So, ooh, careful, wasp man. All right, let's go ahead and get cutting on this thing. You ready? Where do you want to start? Should we move all these? No, sort of, kind of, not really. We're gonna cut right back in here today. So we're gonna cut like right about here. Boom. Right about there. Right about here. Right about now. And I'm not getting overly detailed on these cuts. I'm just kind of getting a cut in there and getting it out. That's really all I want to do. And hopefully we just go around the bottom edge real quick. You know, some of these I might want to leave. So as my young apprentice, the Padawan, is cutting the outside. I went in and I cut the inside a little bit to see how much more light is in here, if it's noticeable. So there's sort of a donut now around the tree, if you will. So there's light coming in, maybe not as much as I want yet. I might get more light in here, but it's already looking thinner, so that's going to help it out. All right. Hey, I found one. There it is. Oh, ooh. I'm gonna let it sit on the tree a little longer. But there it is. I knew I'd find one in there. I don't know if y'all can see it. Oops, cameraman hiding right there. Oh, two right beside it. Look at that. Now I'm excited. Yeah, Graham did not produce very well this year. For me to find any is nice. Where was this thing at? Kids, don't do this at home. You're not supposed to be on this rung of the ladder. It's above your pay grade. You need a taller ladder for safety. But you know, safety schmafety. As I take the back flip down. Man, it's hot. All right, for those of you who are wondering why you cut your trees every year, follow me on this. Maybe I'll insert this into the video. Take a plate, put the plate on the counter, paper plate if you want. On that plate, you can write, say, 300 mangoes. So you can get 300 mangoes off of that plate. That plate represents an old tree. Old tree. Now, on that plate, put a glass on the plate. And if you have room, put 2 glasses on the plate. Then put 3. Then put 4. You probably get about 4 glasses on a plate before you run out of room. Well, those glasses represent a cut tree, maintained tree, a tree in an orchard, if you will, a grove. And if each of those little trees only do, say, 100 mangoes, which one do you get more out of? Well, you get more out of the big tree if it's one tree, but for the space, you're going to get more out of 4 little trees. Because if you can get 100 mangoes out of 4 little trees, then you got 400 mangoes instead of just 300. That's why you cut your trees. And I really need a taller ladder. I'm about done. Look at the carnage. Most of this is pretty leafy green matter. I just brought the tree in a little bit. In previous years, I think I've really cut it a little bit too much. Maybe that's partly why it's affected that production. So this year, I tried to not maybe cut it quite as harsh. All right, there it is, the final product all cut and done, this gram. Camera, you may pick it up a little bit. You can see through the tree now. Before you couldn't even see through it. And oddly enough, remember I said it had some hidden? It did. It had 4 mangoes hidden. There's 1, it's still there. There's 2, there's another one hiding even behind that one. 3, and then 1 fell. So I got 4 more mangoes out of gram, which I'm happy about. But and I think I tried showing this a couple times, but I've had a lot of interruptions. Look at this daylight coming through the center. And I didn't cut it as radically this year as in prior years. I just really wanted to produce. I wanted to have, I mean, it's not a super hard producer. It's a moderate producer anyway, but the last 2 years have been really off. So for a tree this size, I really want more mangoes. Look at the sunlight coming through that tree from this angle. So is what it is. Hopefully I have more mangoes this year off of it. It's probably my second most requested mango this year.